Good evening, everybody, and welcome. And I guess the clock outside is a few minutes behind. So I'm going to call our meeting to order, and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we'll start with a roll call of attendees.
Supervisor Sturm.
Present.
Councilman Rowan.
Present.
Councilman Keneally.
Present.
Councilwoman Culligan. Here. Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Okay, and we'll move on to a public comment period. Is there anybody signed up, Sue, for public comments?
Rose Germond.
Okay. Rose, are you here?
Yes, she's in the back.
Hi, why don't you come on up? And you need to speak into the microphone to be able to, for the video recording of the meeting, speak really, really close to the microphone in a way that's going to feel kind of funny.
Yes, I'm here to talk to you about my property at 7 Sorrel Lane. I want to see if I can get that demolition idea delayed so that I can get into there and get the stuff that I need moved out. And then my idea is to sell the property and get out of there.
So, I mean, that's something that I know has been ongoing for a very long time, for many, many months. And
I've been trying to deal with it, but I'm also dealing with serious health problems at the same time.
So why don't we meet separately, yourself, myself, and and John Herlihy, who's the chair now of the building department.
Okay.
And we'll defer the actions that we were going to take today.
Okay, thank you.
So that we can meet, and I've been wanting to actually go and meet you.
Okay.
Yeah, to sort of see for myself and to actually meet you face to face, because it's obviously is a big deal to have your property demolished.
Yes, it definitely is.
So for now,
Stressful, which is not good for my health.
I can understand. So we'll proceed and we'll table that item when we get down to it. Okay.
Okay.
And Sue, do we have contact information?
Yes.
For her? A way to reach you? Okay. Yeah, so we can try and meet next week, either Monday or Wednesday,
Okay.
if that works for you.
Yeah, if it's later in the day.
No problem. Okay, all right. We'll be in touch with you to set that up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Is that it for now then?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item is we're going to go through the organizational resolutions, and for those of you in the audience, and I was in the audience for many years, and looking at organizational resolutions number 1 through 65 is pretty daunting. So I'm going to actually read each of them and give a few word comment as to what it pertains to, but they are all on and will be listed in the minutes of today's meeting in their full entity. So if you have further questions, you're able to see it. All right, resolution number 1 pertains to regular meetings, that the town board meetings will be held on the first Thursday of each month, beginning at 7, except if emergency meetings are required. And what we're going to do is vote as a group on a whole cluster of these addenda, of these resolutions together, so we're not taking up the time to to vote individually. Resolution number 2 concerns the conduct of meetings, and that we'll be using Robert's Rules of Order to prevail of the source of clarification for how meetings are conducted. Resolution number 3, that we will begin our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. Resolution number 4, pertaining to committees, that the supervisor shall appoint committees of town board members and others to aid the board. Resolution number 5, the official newspaper of record is the Saratogian for official announcements and things that have to be posted for the public's awareness. Resolution number 6, that employee benefits, that employees hired under the general fund and the highway fund have employee benefits. Resolution number 7 pertains to employee salaries and the 2026 pay raise schedule and how merit pay is distributed, the schedule for how that happens. Resolution number 8, standard workday and reporting lists, sort of standard hours for the various elected and appointed officials. Resolution number 9 talks about reimbursement for travel, that travel for town business will be reimbursed at the prevailing annual rate established by the IRS. Resolution number 10 talks about paid holidays and when town offices will be closed. There are 12 of them, and it also includes the day after Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. Resolution 11 pertains to petty cash for each department head, the amount that they're allowed to have on hand. Resolution 12 pertains to cell phones and the kind of rate in which personnel are allowed to have a certain amount of reimbursement for cell phone usage in their capacity for the town. Resolution 13 pertains to the highway department, that all town roadways have a posted 4-ton load limit. Resolution 14 regards the highway superintendent and utilizing of highway funds for the repair of improvement of highways. Resolution 15, again, pertains to the highway superintendent and spending on machinery, tools, minor equipment, other items. Resolution 16 identifies Frank Holden as the Deputy Highway Superintendent. Resolution 17 pertains to elections, voter registration day. Resolution 18 pertains to the Zoning Board of Appeals, that there is such a board, and it consists of 7 members in terms of that are elected or appointed for 7-year terms. And Resolution 19 pertains to the Planning Board, again, that there are 7 members and they are appointed for terms that are 7 years long. Resolution number 20 pertains to the Board of Assessment Review, that board has 5 members and they are appointed for 5-year terms. Resolution 21 talks about chairpersons for these boards, that the town board shall designate the chairpersons of these boards. So for the Planning Board, William Rice is being appointed for the current term from January 1st of 2026. These are 1-year appointments as chair through December 31st, 2026. The Ethics Advisory Board, Charles Garrison, is being reappointed the current term now January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Resolution number 22 pertains to the Saratoga County Youth Bureau, and that the town's recreation director serves as the representative on that board. Resolution 23 talks about youth spending. Resolution 24 talks about tax bills, and that taxpayers may identify, for elderly or disabled taxpayers, identify a third party to receive duplicate copies of taxes in case they are somehow missing understanding and dealing with dates and things like that. Resolution number 25 pertains to tax collection. And at this point, I'm going to ask I'm requesting a motion from the board to vote to approve these resolutions number 1 through 25, seeking a motion.
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstain? Okay, uniformly accepted. Resolution 26 pertains to official depositories utilizing banks, local banks, including Adirondack Trust Company, Arrow Bank, and NBT Bank, and Ballston Spa National Bank. And I'm going to do this one separately, and I believe there is one recusal.
There will be. Yes, in fact, I have to abstain on items number 26, 38, and 41 because they deal with banking and depositories. I serve on the board of directors of Arrow Bank, one of the depositories, so I'll be abstaining on those three.
Okay, so then we'll continue. Resolution 27 talks about equipment and capital reserve fund. Sorry.
Do you want us to approve? We need a motion.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 26.
I'll second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone recused?
That's me.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the resolution passes. Okay, Resolution 27 pertains to equipment and capital reserve funding, that the board establishes a reserve fund to accumulate monies to finance certain capital improvements and equipments, land, buildings, building alterations. Resolution number 28 refers to stormwater management reserve funds, that we establish a reserve fund to accumulate monies to finance the cost of specific capital improvements related to stormwater management issues. Resolution 29 pertains to traffic mitigation reserve fund, that the board establishes a reserve fund to finance the cost of issues regarding traffic mitigation, things like impact of increased development in the town. Resolution number 30, Highway Equipment Reserve Fund, refers to the town board establishing a reserve fund to accumulate monies to finance the cost of a type of capital improvement for the purchase of highway equipment and vehicles. Resolution 31 pertains to investment policy. Resolution number 32, Capital Assets Program. Resolution 33 pertains to the Parks and Recreation Reserve Fund, that we establish this fund to accumulate monies to finance costs of issues regarding land in the town for public recreation use. Resolution 34 refers to purchase order systems, procurement policies. Resolution 35 pertains to a return check charge, $20 for checks that are returned as unpaid. Resolution 36 pertains to the town comptroller, that she assumed the duties of an accounting supervisor. Resolution 37 pertains to fund transfers, and that they are approved at the same time that hang on, this is a little complicated, sorry. That fund it regards our comptroller's ability to approve fund transfers into appropriations at the same time that expenditures that are not budgeted are approved, and this can occur at the regular town board meetings and happens on a very regular basis. Resolution number 30, I'll stop and say I'm requesting a motion at this point for the town board to vote on the approval of resolutions 27 through 37.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
And anyone recused? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Ray, did you second that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and those resolutions have been approved. Resolution number 41 sorry, pertains to wire and telephone transfers, that the bookkeeper in the comptroller's office can make wire and telephone transfers at several banks, including Adirondack Trust and Aero National Bank, transfers from money market accounts, and I'll ask if there's any recusals on this topic.
I recuse myself.
Okay, and requesting a motion to approve resolution number 38.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And recusal is noted. Anyone opposed? Okay, motion, resolution 38 has been approved. Resolution 39 regards the company that will be the certified public accountants, and that is MMB and Company. Resolution 40 pertains to a Section 125 premium-only plan that talks about, refers to employees being able to have pre-tax money withheld from their paychecks to cover the premium of their health insurance. And I ask for a motion to vote on both of those resolutions, number 39 and 40.
I move we approve Resolution 39 and 40.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the two resolutions, 39 and 40, unanimously approved. Resolution 41 regards contracts that the town board authorizes the supervisor to enter into, and there are 56 entities, and they range from contracts with various banks to the American Red Cross to run a shelter at Gavin Park in an emergency situation, to CDPHP to be the provider of health insurance, to the law firm Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner that serve our planning board, zoning board, town board, and town council, to National Grid, to New York State Department of Corrections, that the town will assume the snow plowing on Mount McGregor Road, and on and on. And there's, again, all of this will be in the minutes. And one of the entities there includes the Aero National Bank. So I'm going to do this resolution separately and request a motion for approval of Resolution 41.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Anyone recusing? Thank you, Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Take that back.
Resolution passes. We're getting there. Resolution number 44.
42.
Did I skip one? Oh, yep, sorry, 42, regarding records management officer, appointing Susan Baldwin to the position of records management officer. Resolution 43, regarding the appointment of Susan Baldwin to the position of registrar of vital statistics in pursuant of the public health law. Resolution 44, regarding the appointment of Sandra Holcomb to the position of Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics. Resolution 45, pertaining to the appointment of Nancy Riley to the position of Safety Officer. Resolution 46 pertains to the appointment of John Herlihy to the position of Fire Marshal. Resolution 47 pertains to the appointment of people to the positions of Dog Control Officer, such that Stacy Martina and Joel Jenkins will share a position, and Christian Clark will have a full position. Resolution 48 establishes that Catherine Coons will be in the position of town historian. Resolution number 49 appoints Christopher Thomas to the position of town health officer. Resolution 50 pertains to town council, authorizing the engagement of Mark Shackner from Miller, Mannix, Shackner, and Hafner, attorneys at law, as the town legal counsel. Resolution 51 pertains to Planning Board and Zoning Board of Appeals, that the same law firm will engage in legal counsel for that, for those boards. Resolution number 52 pertains to the appointment of the deputy supervisor, and that appointment will go to Connor Rowan. And resolution number 53 regards the notification policy for breach of private information securities. So this pertains to should there be an unauthorized acquisition of residents' private information from the computerized records maintained by the town. This pertains to that. Resolution number 54 pertains to appointing John Herlihy to the position of Emergency Services Coordinator. Resolution 55 pertains to appointing Sandra Holcomb to the position of Deputy Tax Receiver. Resolution 56 regards appointing Supervisor Tony Sturm to as the Freedom of Information Appeal Officer. Resolution number 57 pertains to previous year's encumbrances, authorizing the town comptroller to roll forward all outstanding encumbrances and budget appropriations. Resolution number 58 pertains to Gavin Park refund policy. Resolution 59 pertains to fund balance prop policy, that the town of Wilton desires to manage its financial resources by establishing a fund balance policy for the general fund. Resolution number 60, again, pertains to petty cash policies. More details on how petty cash is dealt with in terms of receipts, disbursements, payments, etc. Resolution number 61 pertains to health and dental insurance and healthcare buyout to provide health insurance benefits waiver to all eligible town employees should they so desire. Resolution number 62 pertains to actuarial services and retaining Jefferson Solutions in this capacity. Resolution 63 pertains to appointing Roberta Corrigan to the position of Senior Center Director. Resolution 64 pertains to appointing Maria Moran, the Town Comptroller, to serve as the Town of Wilton representative on the Aging Services Advisory Board of Saratoga County. And Resolution 65 talks about an override of the Wilton EMS and Ambulance District tax cap. And so I am now requesting approval, a motion for approval by the board of resolutions 42 through 65, requesting a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Any recusals? So be it noted. Thank you. And the next item on the agenda is the approval of pending minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Noted. Unanimous approval. The next item on the agenda is our quarterly report from the Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park from Margot Olson.
Ray's on right duty.
Hello, Margot.
Yeah, it's flashing. You're on light duty.
All right, let's see.
Perfect.
Good?
Ooh, that's tough.
Nailed it, Connor.
Still warming up?
Yeah, it's sort of slowly coming.
Good.
So, welcome to the new town board members. I know some of you I have given this report to before while you were sitting in the audience and not up front. So it's nice to see everyone here. Happy New Year. This is the fourth quarter, but also we use it as an opportunity as a year-end review So in the report, the written report that we submitted, you'll see some of the similar information in here regarding our attendance and the other information. I'll be going through some of what's occurred with the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center at Camp Saratoga. But you'll also see there's information on the written report relating to fundraising and to different grants that we've received this year. So if anyone has any questions about that, I'm happy to answer them. But I feel like I'll move right into the presentation, and then we can see if people have other questions when I wrap up. So I think the thing that we're most excited about is in terms of an accomplishment this past year has been the opening of the first phase of the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education Center at the town of Wilton's Camp Saratoga. We were able to complete it, and thanks to people in this room, the town board, town employees like the highway department, building and grounds, were really instrumental in getting that done. I mean, the town always had a commitment when we started the project of in-kind support, and we received that in just really an amazing way. And again, I speak on behalf of the staff and the board and volunteers and everyone from Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park to thank the town again for all of that amazing support that allowed us to get to this point where you can see in these beautiful pictures the interior of the Welcome Cabin. This is highlighting that we had our annual photography show, and it was the first time we were able to do it in person since COVID, and we used the Welcome Cabin. We didn't have room for all of the entries, but we did highlight the winners of each of the categories and had over 50 people that came for that event in the Welcome Cabin. So for those of you who don't know, we did have a ribbon cutting in last quarter, so technically in the third quarter of the year. So in September was the official ribbon cutting when we opened to the public. So we have been open since the middle of September. And so we have been using the Welcome Cabin for programming since then. We do our preschool nature hour. We have cabin crafts weekly on the weekends. We've run volunteer trainings in there. We even held one of our board meetings inside of the Welcome Cabin. And so it's being used on a regular basis. And we have public hours from the fall up until the beginning of this year. We were open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 4. But for the winter season, we're open Wednesday through Sunday so that people can rent snowshoes, cross-country skis, microspikes out of the Welcome Cabin for both days of the weekend. So we're able to be open five days a week, as we were before. We just shifted the hours over a little. So again, we've talked about this, I think, in all of the presentations that I've given in the past year, but it's always nice to, again, go over just what we were able to accomplish. Again, as I said, this was a huge team effort from everyone involved, and lots of volunteer help and members of the community that jumped in as well. So developing the Accessible Site and Pathways Plan donated by the LA Group, the Accessible Stone Dust Pathways that were installed at Camp Saratoga North, and repaving the parking lot by the Town Highway Department with materials that were donated by D.A. Collins, complete renovation of the former Health Lodge by Wilton Facilities and Grounds that transformed the building into that beautiful Welcome Cabin. In addition, we also put in a new composite deck to Welcome Cabin, giving us an accessible ramp and entryway, so it's accessible to everyone now. We have exhibits installed featuring the ecology of the Sand Plains, culture of local indigenous people, scouting at Camp Saratoga, and the life cycle of the Carter Blue Butterfly. An exhibit cabinet featuring artifacts from the Larry Gordon Outdoor Education, the Larry Gordon Historic Scouting Collection, and then lots of hands-on activities for kids and families that come in. And again, thanks to the town, we were able to connect the infrastructure needed to bring internet and phone into that building to allow us to be able to work there and serve the public better. So it was a good year. It was a good year. So, I guess I said it's an amazing year. I should be more enthusiastic. An amazing year for Wilton Wildlife. We actually, you'll see in the next graph, but over 15,000 individual people that we have contacted in our programs. That doesn't take into account all the people that we see walking on the trails, getting out there using the properties. These are just people that we interact with directly with the different programs. And you can see we presented 173 free public programs. We had 206 in-school field trip, after school, and other group programs this year. We went to and tabled at and paid programs at 34 different community events. And did 72 summer programs at different camps, libraries, community centers, including at Gavin Park. And we had 6 different interns, college students, and immediate postgrads that came and worked with us, helping us to mentor the next. We were mentoring the next generation of these young professionals, and they were mentors to the different students and kids that they worked with. And then we have about 70 volunteers and trail stewards, and again, opened the Welcome Cabin. So it was an amazing year. And if you look at this graph here, you can see that it's been our highest year of attendance. You can see the graph in the middle there, that was COVID, and it took us time to build back, and you can see that we really have really had a great year with reaching, again, it's our mission is to bring our environmental education, get outdoor recreation to people, support conservation, and so we're just beyond thrilled that we've been able to do that so successfully. And if you look at the top, that top blue, which doesn't exist in the other graphs, that's people that came into the Welcome Cabin since it was open. So we had almost 900 visitors to the Welcome Cabin between September and the end of the year. And this pie chart just gives you an idea of what percent of programs, the different user groups. So you can see the largest percentage, 33%, were interacting with people at community events. The next largest was 23% with different school and after-school programs. The next largest one is public programs with 15%, and then summer camp Gavin Park programs, 13%. And so the smaller pieces of the other puzzle, but you can see things like the Welcome Cabin visitors there, volunteer programs, the Cornell Hill Fire Tower, the Saratoga Striders Fun Runs, so those all make up those individuals that we work with. So now just, it's nice to talk about all of the different people we work with, but it's really nice to kind of see the pictures and to see, so at Camp Saratoga, you get an idea of the kinds of programs that took place. You can see some are under the pavilion up at Camp Saratoga, different crafts and activities, nature arts hours, the new gardens that were done by the Eagle Scout. We were using those in a program this summer. You can see people there standing by the garden learning about pollinators. Of course, the pond is always a big hit with people, and we do a lot of pond programs at Camp Saratoga. So you can kind of see some of the different programs. Some of these are school groups, some of these are public programs that utilize the facilities there. And then community outreach, these are where we go to different other community events at the Adirondack Sports and Fitness Expo, Moreau Nature Fest, a program at the library for Martin Luther King Day. So these are some of the different programs, and I see there's Wilton Community Day there at Gavin Park that we were at as well. So just getting out in the community, sharing information, giving people the opportunity to learn more about Wilton Wildlife and the opportunities for the public at the great facilities at Camp Saratoga. And then, of course, the summer camp programs. So we love going to Gavin Park. We're there doing programs for all of the on-site kids. And so that's always a big hit. And we're there every week of the summer that the kids are there providing free programs. And again, I mentioned free programs before. The reason we're able to do that is the operating grant that we get from the town board. really makes a difference because that supports our educators' salaries and benefits, not 100%, but it makes a big difference. That's money we don't have to fundraise for or find other grants for. That allows us to, again, do these programs at Gavin Park and not have to charge Gavin Park or anyone for it or find another way to pay for it. And then traveling programs, that's when we go into classrooms, we go to libraries, we go into schools, and we bring programs there, because not everyone can come on a field trip or get to our location. And so we go out in the community and bring our programs there. And this week, we brought snowshoes, and we did snowshoeing at Dorothy Nolan. We have more scheduled for Dorothy Nolan in the coming weeks. If this rain doesn't take all the snow away, but we have more winter ahead, so if we have to reschedule. And then I remember that Erin was really impressed to see the list of all the different schools and community groups that we work with. So in 2025, you can see that's the list of all the different schools that either came to us or we went to them. The different summer programs, we either went to them or they came to us. After school, that's where we go, just to those after-school programs. And then other groups that we work with, you can see senior centers, 4-H, Boy Scouts, the state parks, different groups like that, that we bring our programs to them, or again, they come to us. And then finally, looking ahead a little bit, just gives you a little flavor of what we'll have coming up in the first quarter. So again, we talked about the winter cross-country ski and snowshoe rentals at the Welcome Cabin, and then you can see just a whole bunch of different programs, a lot of walks, a lot of winter fun. These are just our public programs. This doesn't count, like I said, when we go to Dorothy Nolan or do other school group kinds of programs. So these are the free programs that we offer to the public. So I hope some of you will take advantage of that and come and visit us in the Welcome Cabin. Maybe rent a pair of skis or snowshoes, get out on the trails.
Thank you so much.
So I don't know if...
Thank you, Margot.
Questions, any of the new town board members? I know it's probably a lot, but...
I have one question. So, first of all, thank you. I want to go on an owl prowl. But
Wanted to say it.
I'm just curious, so it's fantastic to see that attendance is at a maximum, and I'm just wondering what, if any, challenges come with that, if that has a higher cost of trail maintenance, if that comes with, a higher need for staffing.
So yes, there are challenges, but again, we have some capacity. So in fact, we were looking at those numbers at our staff meeting today. So some of our numbers, like field trips, there's only so many days in May and June when schools can come, and so that's a number that may not grow. But there's other numbers. We could maybe do more after-school programs, or during the winter in particular, we can go and do more in-school programs or things like that. So over the years, we have increased our staff. So now, in addition to myself as the director, we have 3 full-time staff, and they're all environmental educators. So they all have some administrative role, but they also are mostly doing programming and getting out in the community and working with the schools. So there is, and in fact, opening the Welcome Cabin, they have to, we have to staff that as well. So while they're in the Welcome Cabin, then they can't be, programming or doing something else. So that may, we're just working on, figuring that out. But those are great questions. There are some issues. We still have, I believe, room for growth, but it does come with some challenges.
And DEC also monitors, right? Attendance. For wear and tear.
We have trail stewards that are volunteers that help with trail maintenance and, upkeep and things like that. We have a volunteer stewardship agreement that is with DEC that limits what we can do and how many people we can bring on the trails, because they do have concern about capacity and impacts on the trails. But that's just with DEC. The town trails, trails on town land, and on county land, there are less concerns from those landowners, but we work closely with the landowners to make sure that we're in compliance with what they're doing with their management plans and how they want to see it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Did you receive your TRP for the grooming?
It's rolled into our VSA now.
Okay.
So they included it, because we didn't have the VSA for a couple of years, so we had to put in,
Right.
these are different DEC permitting things. So one is a temporary revocable permit, which is different from the volunteer stewardship. So we have a temporary revocable permit with DEC for all of our public programs that take place on state land. So that permit is what we have now, but the volunteer stewardship one covers the trail maintenance and the grooming.
So you don't have to wait for them to say, go ahead anymore, as long as it's after the date.
After the date, and we meet the conditions.
Right.
So that's actually, we went out and we
Yes.
did it.
So, but you get to determine that.
We determined it.
Yes. Okay.
That there was a thick enough layer on the ground?
Yes. 8 inches.
Yeah.
How much
really?
state land are we talking about?
So Camp Saratoga has 200 and something acres, because the town's is about 26, so I think it's like 250 maybe of state land at Camp Saratoga. Total. But then there's other state land, other DEC land in addition to it. What is it, Camp Saratoga? There's 2,600, just under 2,600 acres total out of all of the protected lands that are in that area. DEC owns about half, and the county, it's about 50-50 between those two. And then the town has the Nealman parcel, and then that, about 26 acres at Camp Saratoga.
So your contract with DEC is sort of a strict thing. They're talking about a significant land area that you have to be careful with
Yes.
impacts.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Margot. The next item on the agenda,
Good job, Connor.
I was so close. I was so close to nailing it.
we're now going to go through a series of reappointments to various commissions. The first, I'm requesting a motion for approval for reappointments to the Park and Recreation Commission.
I'll make a motion to reappoint Wendy Mahaney and Kelly Milne.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Be it noted, unanimous approval. The next item, I'm requesting a motion for reappointments, actually to extend, we're deferring the reappointments for 1 month to the Zoning Board of Appeals, so I'm requesting a motion to extend the current terms until the next town board meeting, which is February 5th, 2026, and I'm requesting a motion.
I'll make a motion to reappoint until February 5th, Scott Duffy, Scott Dussault, Kelsey Mannix as a member, 2 alternates respectively, and Scott Kingsley as chairman.
Do we have a
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Unanimously approved. The next item is, I'm requesting a motion for reappointments to the Historic Preservation Board. For Wendy McConkey for a term from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Susan Gavin Lant from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2029. And Allison Schoonover from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030. Requesting motion?
So moved.
Are they staggered intentionally? Okay. I'll second.
By state law, they're supposed to be staggered.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any opposed? Noted. Unanimous approval. The next item is I'm requesting a motion for reappointments to the Wilton Planning Board, reappointment of Jim Deloria, a term from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2032, and a reappointment of Amanda Pelfrey as an alternate, and these are one-year appointments for alternates, and from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, and
She's an appointment.
A new appointment.
and a new appointment for Laura Lorenko to serve as an alternate from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Requesting a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Noted, unanimous approval. And the next is reappointments to the Ethics Advisory Board. I'm requesting a motion for approval of Charles Garrison from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Ryan Gettings from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. And Bradley Wanner from December 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Requesting a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any recusals? Noted, unanimously approved. And the last board reappointment pertains to the Wilton Water and Sewer Authority. I'm requesting a motion for the reappointment of Joseph Stadelmeyer for a term of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2030.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Noted, unanimously approved. The next item, I'm requesting a motion for approval to a voting delegate and an alternate to attend the New York Association of Towns meeting in February in New York City for Supervisor Tony Sturm as the delegate and Ryan Riper as the alternate. Requesting a motion.
Make a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any recusals? I'll recuse. Any opposed? And noted. And the next item is regarding Chamber of Commerce membership.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Could we get a little description?
Yes, you
Yes, please.
Let's see, I had a nice conversation, a nice conversation with Todd Shimkus, who's the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and there are a number of municipalities.
Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce.
And there's a number of municipalities around the county that are members. And I think in the best interest of the vibrance of our business community, that having a strong, deep relationship with the chamber, its membership, all of the events, that they have, is in the best interest, of our town in general and our business community in particular. The annual dues are $495, which I think is well within our means, based on our surplus and our budget. So I personally make a recommendation that we join the chamber.
So requesting a motion for Town of Wilton to join the Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Noted, unanimously approved.
One more question. How do we designate one of us to be a representative, or?
We don't have to, but we could. Everybody's looking at me. That's my idea. So, in as much as I've already, been in contact with, with Todd and been active in the chamber myself in years gone by, I'd be more than happy to do that.
Well, I'm also happy to, attend some things here and there, on an ad hoc basis.
Yeah, we'll all get electronically. I'll ask Todd to put all of us on the mailing list, for events and that sort of thing. So,
So we could feel free to attend.
Yeah,
Yes.
they
Their
mix rooms
projects.
and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
Grand openings, all
Yeah.
amounts.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks.
my pleasure.
And the next item is requesting a fee waiver and insurance waiver for the emergency personnel team, their team building event at Gavin Park, which is in the warmer season, and this is a volleyball game or tournament.
They were talking about having a softball game.
They did last year.
This summer, yeah, and we were talking about.
Do you have more details about that, Erin?
No, I think it kind of came in on the heels of COVID with how much a lot of our emergency personnel have gone through. So I believe it's nurses and EMTs and that kind of stuff, and they just kind of get together to have like a good time and get outside the realm.
We did
of what they do.
The fee waiver last year for them,
Yeah.
But not the insurance.
Okay.
So that was.
And do you know the additional risk or liability that would come from the insurance waiver?
I do not.
Yeah, Nancy Riley works with that, with Ross
Okay.
at the park.
So,
This just came in yesterday.
Oh, okay.
yeah, this is so I'm requesting a motion to table this until we get additional insurance information to understand what are the potential ramifications, and if we have town insurance that would cover that already, and sort of what the situation is. I think we need a little clarity.
Yeah, typically we would request that the organization that wants to use our property or held an event on our property would provide us with a hold harmless, with an insurance waiver that the town, it will not be liable for anything that happens, of course, with that event. And a $10 million policy typically that we request from that organization that is using our land. So, and it's a very common policy type of document that we obtain from all that we ask for. There's never anybody, well, very rarely do we get any pushback from somebody, in terms of, I can't get that insurance, basically it's always given to us. So I don't think there's going to be a problem getting that if we ask for it.
But you're saying that we normally ask them to provide and to purchase an insurance policy. This is a sports event. This isn't a picnic.
Correct.
So I personally, have concerns that the potential for injuries and serious injuries is higher, so would want to know, does our town's existing insurance policies, is there overlap?
Well, if it's a hold harmless,
Right.
then we wouldn't be liable.
Correct.
And if they wanted to pursue this, then it would be fine to potentially approve this pending receiving the document. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel comfortable with that.
And Mark, do you have any comments on issues of liability?
No, I think the town takes those steps reasonably necessary to protect us. Okay. It's appropriate.
So that you would be comfortable with just a not hold liable document, and then to waive the requirement for them to purchase their own additional insurance?
None of these things are guaranteed to succeed. None of them. And every single one of them occasionally falls through, and some town is held liable for something. And I'm not recommending the lesser protection. I'm just saying I'm not uncomfortable with it.
Okay. How do you guys feel?
Well, as Maria said, it's been a customary practice, as long as we're indemnified, by a third party.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And we're indemnified already for athletic events, for sports, because I think there's been policy where sometimes groups that are having gatherings will ask for the waiver of certain fees, but again, a picnic is a different animal from a sports game.
And do we know the date of this event? Is this like?
We do not yet.
Oh, but it's not like in a few days.
No.
Okay.
So I'd make a motion to approve the waiver of the fee and approval under the condition that we get appropriate evidence of indemnification from the applicant.
Appropriate is defined by,
Hold harmless.
okay, just the standard?
Right, just our standard policy, which is to obtain the town of Wilton is held harmless, and that we are additionally insured. All of the standard information that we require from anybody else, we would require from the emergency squad.
Okay, I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. So that alteration in the request has been passed. The next item, requesting a motion for the Domestic Violence Awareness Fundraiser to be held at Gavin Park June 6th, is requesting a fee waiver. So,
Pavilion. Pavilion.
Also last year.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second?
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Noted, unanimously approved. The next item, requesting a motion for the creation of a temporary advisory position for the advising of in the building department, the hiring of Mark Mikens in an informal advisory capacity to the senior building inspector, senior code enforcement officer, and zoning officer on an as-needed basis, up to 15 hours per week as needed for up to 3 months. And a motion requested.
And do we have the hourly costs associated?
Is that on the comptroller?
I think, yes, Maria,
I know it's pegged to his salary, right? Or what it was?
yes, it was,
His 2025 salary that he was earning at that point, which is in the realm of $40-something.
and we're expecting that the utilization of this will be at most a couple hours a week, at most, and possibly not at all. But the thought was to have the ability in place in case there's some, mentoring that's required so that we have
So there's a plan in
things.
place.
Yes.
We knew he wasn't going anywhere. For that last meeting. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, duly noted, please. Unanimously approved. The next item is a motion requested regarding the demolition of the structure at 153 Loudon Road, and the town board is requesting to authorize town council to initiate Supreme Court action for the demolition and removal of the condemned dwellings. And this is an issue that's been ongoing for a very, very long time. So motion requesting a motion?
Has anything changed on that property? I know they said they were getting a new house delivered, but...
Noted, yes. It's bad. If anybody wants us to share the photos, we will.
Yeah.
Just not safe. And I don't know if anybody saw the news the following night, but they were arrested for animal cruelty,
Yeah.
for the animals that they had caged up.
I'll make a motion to authorize council to initiate that process.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Noted, unanimously approved. And the next item regards the similar process at 7 Sarah Lane. However, given that the property and homeowner came to us and spoke at the public comment session with a very specific request, and I would like to have the opportunity to meet with her and to go there, and so I'm requesting a motion actually to table our request for a court-order demolition at this point.
Could I ask the timeline, once this initiation begins, what is the timeline from the initiation to the actual beginning of demolition?
There's no good answer to that question. It's a perfectly reasonable question. There's no good answer.
Okay.
And the reason is because the principal variable, it doesn't happen overnight no matter what, even in the best case scenario, just because of the various processes that have to accompany the filing of our paperwork. But the big variable is it's not a one-party action. It's a two-party action. It's
Right.
us and whoever owns the property. Sometimes owners ferociously defend and say and fight against the demolition and removal as best they can. Ironically, sometimes they hire attorneys to do it. I say ironically only because we've been involved in cases where they spent a lot of money to fight something that had that money been put toward benefiting the property.
Right.
Perhaps we'd all be better off. But so therefore, I mean, the rock bottom minimum in a Supreme Court action is several months, but the outside count is, many months.
It also goes out to bid.
If they put up a big fight.
Right. The rock bottom minimum is a couple months. And I know that this case has been going on a very long time. What exactly is the desire to delay? Is there anything that has been requested that would take more than a couple months?
You're referring to the 7 Cerro Lane?
Yeah, because I know that it's, I know there's been a lot of discussion about it. It's been probably over a year that it's been discussed.
Longer.
Longer, 2 years.
2 years.
And it's a hazard to neighbors, it's dangerous for, first responders. And I'm not saying that I don't want to delay, I'm just trying to understand if the delay is necessary in the context of the request.
I would, since I requested the delay, I would say that given that the owner came and made a specific appeal and that without having the ability to meet with her and to see exactly what it is she's requesting and the chance to speak with the building department and find out, has this request been already asked several times? Is this a recurrent thing, or is this something new that I was not comfortable proceeding and initiating legal proceedings for demolition? I'll also add that I spoke with town council regarding both of those demolition processes, and when we spoke of it, I asked if in his request to the Supreme Court that there be indicated that we would not ask for demolition before May 1st, in case people have things they want to get out of there, that we're not demolishing their home in the middle of the winter or in the very cold months. But, council assured me that the process wouldn't even probably likely begin by that point, but nonetheless, I wanted to give the homeowners that assurance that we weren't going to be raising their home in March if there's 10 inches of snow on the ground.
And if I can add to that, not to make light of it, but we can always slow it down. Speeding it up can sometimes be done and sometimes can't be done. But slowing it down can always be done.
I'm happy to delay this. It's been so long already. I'm happy to delay it one more month. But my understanding based on previous conversations and previous testimony from Mark last year is that it's not recoverable. But I'm happy to, make a motion to, what is the exact language here, to postpone, defer, to extend until our February meeting?
Yeah, I mean, we've given a lot of extensions, and I don't even know, are you living in the house? Or is she?
No,
Is she not here? No, you're not even living in the house. I mean, nothing's moved in 18 months.
Right.
And you don't need a formal resolution to just not start it. To not authorize it to start it, you don't need a formal resolution. You can if you want, but you don't need it.
So we can table it maybe after Tony looks at it, you see it next week.
Yeah.
We asked, I think there was 60-day, 90-day, that we asked for progress.
Yeah, but I think to Connor's point, after your deliberations with the property owner, we have to know when, whatever items need to be removed from the home, their value, that sort of thing. when is it going to happen? Because, as council said, we're months out, even if we start the legal process. So, I'm okay with another month.
Okay, thank you. All right. The next item on the agenda regards committee reports, and given that it's the beginning of the year, I'm going to run through the town employees who are linked to various committees, and then we'll run through the various elected officials and the committees that they either chair or sit on, and would just note some of these committees are not really active, but they're still designated. Ryan Riper, our town engineer, is involved on the Roundabout Committee, the Wilton Water, and also is a liaison to the Wilton Water and Sewer Authority. He's a liaison, or serves as the Town Trails Coordinator, and is a liaison to Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park, and the Exit 16 Committee as well. I mean, I'll note Exit 16 Committee ends up getting, it's quite a future undertaking to redo the whole, the bridge at Exit 16, and it's a DOH state. It's sort of convened by them at their timeline and discretion, so it's not something that we really can have any kind of activity on our own at this point.
Informational basis. That's pretty much all we get.
Yes. Nancy Riley serves as the liaison for the Insurance Committee, the Personnel Committee, and the Safety Review Committee. Susan Baldwin will be our link to the Americans with Disabilities Committee. Maria Moran also serves on the Personnel Committee. And for the elected official, Councilwoman Colligan will be the linkage to the Senior Center, our historian, and the Historical Society. Will continue to serve on the Short-Term Rental Committee, the Exit 16 Committee, and is now our liaison to the Parks and Recreation Department. Councilman O'Connor will continue in his linkages with the Highway Department, the Veterans Committee, the Sheriff's Department, the Exit 16 Committee, and also to Wilton Wildlife Preserve and Park. Our new Councilman, Joe Keneally, will serve as the liaison to Town Court, and will be on 2 new committees. He will be the board liaison to the Alternative Transportation Committee, and be a co-chair on the Land Conservation Committee. Our new Councilman, Connor Rowan, will be serving as Deputy Supervisor. He will head up the Zoning and Code Revision Committee, and will also be the board link to the Emergency Services Review Committee, and have linkages, be the board liaison to the Safety Review Committee. And there's 2 new committees that are being instituted. The first is the Alternative Transportation Committee, that really will be dealing with multimodal paths, multi-use paths, and non-vehicular transportation issues in the town, and Councilman Joe Keneally will be the liaison, and at this point, I'm appointing Steve Badarian as chair, and further committee members to be determined and announced. And the second new committee is the Land Conservation Committee, and myself will serve as co-chair, along with Councilman Joe Keneally and other members to be determined.
Who's the liaison to the Highway Department? You are?
Ray, yes, sorry.
Sorry. No, I might have
If
missed
Mike will still allow me. You want to arm wrestle me for it?
it. Listen.
All right, and our comptroller report, Maria?
Yes. So the first.
I'm sorry, can I for just a second, I just want to make a quick report on a couple of the committee things.
Oh, sorry.
Ryan and I have been swapping messages with Douglas Heller at the LA Group, and the folks that are going to be building our fishing station on the Snook-Kill are mobilizing next week and should be driving the piers in to put the deck in sometime within the month. Wow. Yeah, so that's moving along quickly. And then related to that, just up the road along Northern Pines Road, the 12 acres of state land, sponsorship by Kerry Warner in the Assembly, Jim Tedesco in the Senate, signed off by Governor Hochul. The Veterans and Community Housing Coalition is going to be getting another dozen acres of land to expand their services for our veterans who are often struggling with the transition from military to civilian life.
And hopefully, housing will come of it, although it's probably way too early to understand where,
Yes, yeah.
you know, how that land will be utilized.
Yep, yeah.
So that sort of your report from the Veterans Committee.
Yeah, and Ryan has played a big role in that too, doing some initial survey work and that sort of thing, and helping prep the legislation for approval.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
And I'd add that there already is veterans housing right there, sort of between what's going to be the fishing pier plot and these new 12 acres to be donated.
The subsidized veterans apartments on Northern Pines Road will actually be able to walk down to, the fishing station, once the trail is put in. So it's a nice asset for them, in addition to all the other residents in town who want to go there fishing.
And how many units in the current apartment? It's a small apartment complex.
It's 12? Yeah, 12.
There's only a few, it's not a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And go ahead, Maria. Oh, sorry, Mark, yes.
Before Comptroller has asked me to intercede before Comptroller's report. So this is an update on a legal issue involving our zoning board of appeals. The Quaker Springs solar application, we were informed today, is being withdrawn.
Okay. Thank you, Council.
And how long has that been going, kind of back and forth through?
How many decades?
It's not yet a decade, but it's got to be 2 years since the application was filed, I would say.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
And have they indicated that that's the permanent cessation of their attempts, or it's?
They have not indicated that it's a permanent cessation of their attempts. The actual words were, "At this point, we will not be continuing forward with the project and would like to withdraw the application."
I believe funding also dried up.
Yeah.
And the actual location of that project was?
Pretty near Knollwood.
Oh, it's the,
Like across.
Yeah.
so that's the Knollwood. So between the Northway and it's the field where the billboards are that are just,
And the train track, and, yeah.
right. Okay. I don't know if any Knollwood residents are here, but that I'm sure would make them very, very, very happy.
I don't see any of them here. They must have heard that news already.
They're popping champagne right now at home.
Check my notes and call one of them. He is going to be so happy. Oh, my gosh.
The letter was sent this afternoon at 2:26. Not to me, to our zoning.
Thank you, that's kind of
You're going to be so happy.
big news for a group of people.
I wanted to mention it.
Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, so the 2025 budget transfers. The budget transfers are constructed and designed specifically to move surplus from accounts that have surplus to accounts that have deficit. So there's a net zero impact on our budget. Specifically in items 1 and 2, we had 2 revenue accounts that were budgeted for an amount of money that did not exactly materialize. So we have revenue that we didn't receive for those 2 items. We are offsetting that budgetary deficit with revenue that we did receive that far exceeded the budget. So it's just moving the revenues to the budget related to the revenues around so that the budget variances are more smoothly distributed. That's all that these do. These are large numbers. This is the first time that I have decided to go ahead and do this with revenues. I always do this with expenses at the end of the year, but because the variances were so large in two accounts, I wanted to kind of smooth out these variances. So item 1 is relative to the planning board inspection fees. Revenues did not materialize related to timing of when certain revenues were going to be received from a specific project. So that was to the tune of $468,000 that we did not receive in 2025 that we should receive in the future. But we had such great revenue experiences in other accounts that we were able to offset that deficit, most notably in our interest revenue of $314,000. This is the variance. Our total interest received for 2025 was over $500,000. Wow. So what happened when we crafted the budget for 2025 was that we anticipated that we would be spending a lot of money on our transportation capital projects, which did not happen as quickly as we thought it would. Therefore, that money sat and continued to invest and earn revenue. So we were able to, a good problem to have, right? We were able to continue to accrue interest on those, offsetting the planning board inspection fees shortfall. Item 2, federal aid. We had budgeted, when the 2025 budget was crafted, we had budgeted to spend federal ARPA money in 2025 that we actually ended up spending in 2024. So we ramped up our spending for ARPA money, which of course the flip side of spending is the federal revenue that results from it. So we were able to record the expense and the revenue in 2024. So if you looked at our amended budget in 24, you'll see a big spike in the federal revenue amended budget. So we ended up not having that money to spend in 2025 because we spent it in 2024. So that's why you see this federal aid having a shortfall in 2025 because we recognize the revenue in 2024. But what offsets that is all of the building and alteration permits for residential, commercial, and miscellaneous that were in excess of what had been budgeted, and I believe that the cause of those items was primarily related to, and John, you can correct me, was primarily related to the implementation of the legislation surrounding building gas, non-gas, in homes and commercial. So a lot of the developers came in and applied for their permits ahead of time before that legislation would have become permanent, but that ended up not happening. But so we had, accrued a lot of money because of that. And our mortgage tax was higher than what we had budgeted, so that $92,000 at the end of the second item here helped to offset some of the federal aid deficit. Item 3 is we overspent on postage for town board, and that was relative to we had a surplus in our budget for the postage in the town board, so we used that to help offset an increase in background screening costs relative to the new employees that we've been hiring at $120 a clip. We pay for background screening, but that's mandatory. We don't have a choice in that. Then on the next page, we continue with our budget transfers, and item 4 and 5 are related to the automotive supplies and repairs category that we have a deficit in because we're spending more than what we have in budget. So we're taking that money from blacktop and catch basin where we had a surplus. And then lastly, in this category, item 6 is we're taking money from blacktop in the maintenance of roads category to offset invoices related to snow removal for salt and sand. So those are our budget transfers, 6 of them.
How's the salt supply this year?
Really well.
Any issues still again? Hopefully not like last year.
So the brine truck, that was already in use last year?
No, we just started this year, last month.
And but that's it's a completely different compound than regular road salt. It's actually a liquefied thing. So when you said that yes, there appears to be a salt shortage, hopefully the brining will pick up some of that shortfall? No. Is there a shortage of brine as well?
So brining is another tool in the toolbox. Straight salt is what we get from the board that's on short order right now. That's when we have to mix with sand and salt. One brine truck is not going to cover all 15 of our powders.
Right.
And you try to brine ahead of time to put down sort of a layer that will prevent...
We don't brine in every storm. In a rainy event, we do not brine.
It just washes away.
There's certain criteria to be met to put brine down.
And Wilton was one of the first in the county, or the first in the county, to institute the brining?
Some of the things that we've been doing with our live edge blades, the presentation that I gave to the board last year, we are first that we using the live edge, calibrating our trucks, and using liquids, yes.
And just out of curiosity, because this is not something I'm totally familiar with, when there's a salt shortage, I imagine you can still buy it. It's just, is it a lot more expensive?
There's no place to buy it.
Really? It's just, they just run out.
We mix with sand.
Yeah, you have to go down to the Port of
Yeah, you gotta go to the
Albany
port,
and wait
yeah.
in line and hope there's some when you get there.
Wow.
That's what happened last year.
Right.
We try not to run sand. We had to run sand. We have been running a mix of sand. Our shed is a quarter full now.
I saw it the other
Still
night.
mixing with sand. Yeah.
Yikes.
I have over 1,000 ton on order.
Yeah.
Waiting for it.
January.
Last year was the worst I'd ever seen it.
Okay, thank you.
Can we make a motion for the budget transfers?
Oh, sure, yes.
I'll make a motion for the budget transfers, items 1 through 6.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sorry, I'm in favor as well. So unanimously approved. Okay, and go ahead, Maria, with budget amendments.
Thank you. And unlike budget transfers, budget amendments are constructed to raise revenue or raise expenses, so it does change our budget overall. So that's why there's that designation is a different type of need that we have. So I just wanted to clarify what the difference between budget transfers are as far as budget amendments. So in the first item under budget amendments, we did receive CHIPS money that it was in excess of what we had budgeted by $22,000. So I'm using all of that to help offset some of the cost of a replacement for a motor for a truck number 6. Mike can give a little bit more detail about the cause of this motor problem that we're having, but all of these items 1 through 4 are here to help offset the cost of that. The total cost of replacing the motor is over $54,000. So we have revenue in item 1, and then we have unused expenditures in items 2, 3, and 4 to help offset the cost of that motor.
I'll make the motion to approve the budget amendments.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, passed unanimously.
Thank you. The third item is personnel. Our assessor, Nicole Monroe, is requesting to hire Michelle Keys for the vacant full-time assessment clerk position, which begins tomorrow. The base rate is $25 an hour. The department head, Nicole Monroe, would like to hire Michelle at the step 2 rate of $26.52 because of her experience and her current rate of pay where she is currently working, just to kind of help to get her on board more quickly.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Noted, unanimously passed.
Thank you. Item 2, John Herlihy, who is our senior building inspector, would like to hire Nicholas Colucci for the new part-time fire inspector position. If he's approved by the board, Mr. Colucci would start on January 13th at $35 an hour.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unanimously passed.
Thank you. Item 3, the rate of pay for John Hurley is proposed to increase to $42.50 an hour, which is $88,400 a year, effective January 1st, 2026, to coincide with when John took the department head position.
Request a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Uniformly passed.
Thank you. The position of senior clerk in the building department was vacated effective January 2nd, 2026, and we will use the civil service list to fill that position when we can move forward.
And do we need a motion for that?
Is that just informational, or?
That could be informational.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. John Hurley and Marcus Hart would request to attend the Northern Adirondack Code Enforcement Officials Annual Educational Conference in Lake Placid from March 2nd to March 5th, 2026. Board approval is required for overnight travel. I know John Hurley is attempting to get a spot in that conference, so right now he's not scheduled for it, but I figured let's get the permission granted now, so that if he is able to tomorrow register, it's all set and ready for him to do.
Yeah.
Request a motion? Oh,
I'm sorry. I'll make a motion to approve.
second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Uniformly passed.
Thank you. And finally, Councilman McNeely would attend the 2025 New York State Association of Towns newly elected town official schools from January 14th through January 16th in Albany. Councilman McNeely will be staying in Albany overnight for the conference, and therefore board approval is requested.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Does anyone want to go into the Association of Towns? It's also overnight travel. You were going?
The one in February?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But that can be, we can address that at the February meeting, because the meeting is like the 14th, I think, through the 17th.
It's late, so, to register in February.
But does it require board approval to even register?
No, just overnight travel.
We can do that now.
Can we just
Yeah.
add the item to the agenda?
First time recusing myself from the final vote.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm going to be going and requesting accommodation as well.
It's just overnight travel, that's all. Get the approval for.
To the travel?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to attend the February as well. But I can crash with a friend and my friends on there.
So does overnight travel,
Save a few bucks for the taxpayer.
does overnight travel mean hotel accommodate? Yes, okay, okay. Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to approve.
Would you be going to?
No, because it's President's Week. Are you going?
I don't know, you can approve it that way, just like I
So
don't.
it's Tony.
Tony, Connor, and Ryan.
Connor and Ryan.
So I'll make a motion to approve their overnight travel to the Association of Towns in New York City.
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Sure,
All abstain?
Why not?
And, all right, so approved by all who voted.
Yeah.
All right. And request a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
So moved. Thank you very much, everybody, for sitting through a very long organizational meeting.
Yeah, but the code enforcement conference, they go crazy.